Overview of GPS. Overview of Global Positioning System. Global Positioning System is a form of global navigation satellite system. Global Positioning Systems is a form of global navigation satellite system, GNSS. Global Positioning System. You need to keep in mind these are the key points from the GPS overview. So Global Positioning System is a form of global navigation satellite system, GNSS. Official name of Global Positioning System is Navigational Satellite Timing and Ranging Global Positioning System, now star GPS. The official name of GPS is navigational. Now S means satellite, T means timing, A means and R means ranging. After that we have a GPS, Global Positioning System. So the official name of GPS is Nowstar GPS. The Global Positioning System is a satellite-based navigation system that can be used to locate positions anywhere on the earth. So this is like a satellite based navigation system, and you need to use this to locate the positions anywhere on the earth. So the designer designed and operated this GPS by the US Department of Defense. It consists of satellites, control and monitor stations and and receivers. Designed and operated by is a global positioning system designed and operated by the US Department of Defense. It consists of satellites, control and monitoring stations and receivers. The main characteristic of the GPS is the main characteristics of the GPS is that it is a continuously available global system which allows for instantaneous position determination using simultaneously measured pseudo ranges to at least four satellites. At least four satellites. The main characteristics of this GPS is that it is a continuously available global system. It is a continuously available global system which allows for instantaneous position determination using simultaneously measured pseudo ranges to at least four satellites. To at least four satellites. Coming to global positioning system orbits. So this is accomplished. This is accomplished by 24 satellites. So out of 24 satellites, 21 plus 3 active space, total 24. We have 21 and plus 3 active space. we have active space R3. So this is accomplished by 24 satellites located in 6 orbital planes. 6 orbital planes in almost circular orbits with an altitude of about 20,200 kilometers above the surface of the earth. This means that about 20,000 kilometers of 20,000 kilometers the surface of the earth. So the orbital plane is included by 55 degrees. The orbital plane is inclined by 55 degrees with respect to the equator. The orbital plane is inclined by 55 degrees with respect to the equator. The six orbits are isolated from each other in multiplies of 60 degrees. The six orbits are isolated from each other in multiplies of 60 degrees. In multiplies of 60 degrees. The sidereal revolution period of the GPS satellites, the sidereal revolution period of GPS satellites, period of GPS satellites is repeated 4 minutes earlier every day for one and the same location. Sorry. The sidereal revolution period of the GPS satellites is 11 hours 58 minutes. Approximately half a sidereal day. Half of the day. Half of the sidereal day. The sidereal revolution period of the GPS satellite is 11 hours 58 minutes, almost 12 hours. Consequently, the same satellite configuration is repeated the 4 minutes earliest every day for one and the same location. The one and the same location. This leads to an almost perfectly repeated ground track, which means that projection of the satellite position on the earth. Projection of the satellite position on earth of the GPS satellites. This leads to an almost perfectly repeated ground track of the GPS satellites. Due to this orbital revolution period, the GPS satellites are in deep 2:1 resonance. Due to this orbital revolution period, the GPS satellites are in deep 2:1 resonance with the rotation of the earth with respect to inertial space. Due to this orbital revolution period, the GPS satellites are in D2:1 resonance with the rotation of the Earth with the respect to inertial speeds. Coming to GPS signals. Coming to GPS signals. All the signals, all the signals transmitted by the satellite, all the signals transmitted by the satellite are derived from all the signals transmitted by the satellite are derived from the fundamental frequency f naught of satellite oscillator. All the signals transmitted by the satellite are derived from the fundamental frequency of the satellite, fundamental frequency of the satellite oscillator. That fundamental frequency is the f naught. Here we have a two carrier frequencies. Here the satellite oscillator or the satellite have two carrier frequencies, f1 and f2. The corresponding wavelengths are 19 and 24 centimeters for each and every carrier frequency. The first carrier frequency wavelength is 19 centimeters and the second carrier frequency wavelength is 24 centimeters. Or else assume that 24 is the first one and 19 is the second one. These two carrier frequencies f1 and f2 are modulated with the codes. These two frequencies f1 and f2 are modulated with the codes, and the navigation message to transmit information, the navigation message to transmit information such as the readings of the satellites, the readings of the satellite clocks, the readings of the satellite clocks, the orbital parameters, and so on. The navigation message to transmit the information such as the readings of the satellite clocks, the orbital parameters, and so on. The C by A code, the C by A code, C by A is nothing but course acquisition, course for acquisition, comma, clear access. C by A code means either course for acquisition or clear or access or civil access. C by A means clear access or civil access or course acquisition. So anyone. So someone will call course acquisition, someone will call clear access, someone will call civil access. So all names are same only. All names are same only. So the C by A code is modulated. The C by A code is modulated on the F1 carrier only. The C by A code is modulated on the F1 carrier only. And we have one more code, P code. The P code is modulated on both carriers F1 and F2. P code means protected or precise. P is nothing but protected or precise. Protected code or precise code is modulated on both carriers, but the C by A code is modulated on only F1 carrier. The C by A code is modulated on the F1 carrier only, and P code is modulated on both F1 and F2 carriers. You need to keep in mind these two. The next, the GPS satellites transmitter, the GPS satellite transmit GPS signals. GPS satellites transmit GPS signals. So absolutely there is no doubt at all. The GPS will transmit only GPS signals. So which are the two carrier frequencies F1 and F2 are the wavelength of 19 and 24 centimeters of each and every carrier frequency. Sorry, if and every carrier signal. And the satellite will transmit only GPS signals to GPS transmitter to GPS receiver on Earth surface to find out positions. On Earth positions, on Earth surface to find out position, velocity and time. These three are most preferable or measurable parameters. GPS satellite transmits GPS signals from GPS transmitter to GPS receiver on its surface, and to find out position, velocity and time. It consists of both ranging. It consists of both ranging. Measures the in the ranging, we are going to measuring the distance between transmitter and receiver. Ranging is, it consists of the ranging means we are going to calculate the distance between the transmitter and receiver. And navigation signals. Navigation signals here, ephemeris, harmonic. Ephemeris and harmonic are the navigation signals. So this GPS signal consists of both ranging and navigation signals. So in the ranging, we are going to measuring the distance between transmitter and receiver. So in the navigation signals, we are going to measuring ephemeris and harmonic. These two are navigation signals. And the GPS satellites transmits the signals. The GPS satellites transmit the signals using two spread spectrum L-band carrier signals L1 and L2. So through these two spread spectrum bands only, you will able to transmit ear source or ear input information from GPS transmitter to GPS receiver via this band, via these two bands only. These two band carrier signals L1 and L2 only. And the L1 operates with the carrier frequency of, all of you keep your mind, the L1 operates with a carrier frequency of 1.5752 gigahertz. 1.5752 gigahertz. The L1 operating with a frequency, with a carrier frequency of the L1 operates with the carrier frequency of F1 is equals to 1.5257 gigahertz, and it is modulated modulated using two pseudo random noise, and it is this L1 is modulated using two pseudo random noise using PRN code, pseudo random noise termed as a coarse acquisition code and precision code. So the pseudo random noise using two pseudo random noises are C by A code and P code. Clear access or civilian access or coarse acquisition code, and precision or protected code. These two are pseudo random noise techniques. You need to keep your mind from this point. L1 operating frequency is 1.5257 gigahertz and it is modulated using two pseudo random noise techniques which are C by A code and P code, and L2 will operates with a carrier frequency of 1.227 gigahertz. L2 operates with a carrier frequency of F2 is equals to 1.227 gigahertz. F2 is equals to 1.227 gigahertz. It is modulated. It is modulated using single PRN code named as P code, which means that this L2 will operates with the frequency range of F2 is equals to 1.227 gigahertz, and it is modulated using the one of the pseudo random technique is P code, named as P code. The L1 will operates with the frequency range of 1.5257 gigahertz, and it is modulated using two pseudo random techniques C by A code and P code. In the L1 we are going to using two techniques. In the L2 we are going to using only one technique, that is P code technique. Okay. Therefore, the two carrier frequencies. Therefore, the two carrier frequencies are integral multiplies of F naught is equals to. Therefore, the two carrier frequencies are integral multiplies of F naught is equals to F naught is equals to 1.023 gigahertz. The two carrier frequencies are integral multiplies of F naught is equals to 1.023 gigahertz. That is F1 and F2. F1 is 1540 and F2 is 1200. F naught to know it 1.023 gigahertz. Okay. So this GPS signal uses CDMA for transmission of signals. This global positioning system uses CDMA technique for transmission of signals. It is uses CDMA for transmission of signals. It uses CDMA for transmission of signals. Then coming to GLONASS overview. GLONASS is Russia's version of GPS. GLONASS is Russia's version of GPS, and the development began in 1976 by the Soviet Union. So before separating this Russia, or before bifurcation of Russia's, only this development, GLONASS development, began in 1976 by the Soviet Union. This GLONASS stands for Global Navigation Satellite System. GLONASS stands for Global Navigation Satellite System. GLO means global, NA means navigation, S means satellite, so the one more S means system. Global Navigation Satellite System. GLONASS stands for Global Navigation Satellite System, which is used to determine which is used to determine positioning of an object, which is used to determine positioning of an object. The GLONASS uses frequency division multiplexing access. This GLONASS uses frequency division multiplexing access scheme to transmit signals to users. Users is nothing but receivers. This GLONASS uses frequency division multiplexing access scheme to transmit signals to receivers. Coming to GLONASS orbits. This is accomplished by this GLONASS orbit accomplished by 24 satellites. This is accomplished by 24 satellites located in 3 orbital planes in almost circular orbits. This is accomplished by 24 satellites. This is accomplished by 24 satellites located in 3 orbital planes. This GLONASS orbit satellite located in 3 orbital planes. These GLONASS satellites located in 3 orbital planes, and which is accomplished by 24 satellites in almost circular orbits with an latitude of about 19,100 kilometers above. That GPS is 20,200 kilometers above, and this GLONASS is about 19,100 kilometers above. 19,100 kilometers above the surface of the earth. Above the surface of the earth. And the 3 orbits are isolated, and the 3 orbits are isolated from each other. These 3 orbital planes are isolated from each other in multiplies of 120 degrees. Isolated from each other in multiplies of 120 degrees. Therefore, the orbital plane is inclined by, therefore, the orbital plane, therefore, the orbital plane is inclined by 64.8 degrees. Therefore, the orbital plane is inclined by 64.8 degrees with respect to the equator. So how we will know it? The orbital plane is inclined by 64.8 degrees means with respect to the equator only we will get it this value. And the sidereal revolution period of GLONASS satellite is 11 hours 15 minutes. And the sidereal revolution period of the GLONASS and the sidereal revolution period of the GLONASS satellite is 11 hours 15 minutes, and the side revolution of the GPS satellite is 11 hours 58 minutes. You need to keep your mind. This is 11 hours 15 minutes, that is 11 hours 58 minutes. If you are going to studying the concept means you need to compare both and come to conclusion. Then only will able to have idea or clear idea. Yes or no? Then next, GLONASS signals. Coming to GLONASS signals. GLONASS satellites transmit microwave signals. See, GPS satellite transmit GPS signals only through GPS transmitter to GPS receiver. But here, in the case of GLONASS signals, the GLONASS satellites transmit microwave signals. This GLONASS satellite transmits microwave signals to GPS receivers. This GLONASS satellite transmits the microwave signals to GPS receivers. I think you know it, the microwave signal frequency above 1 gigahertz. Minimum is 1 giga. Okay, this GLONASS satellite transmits microwave signals to GPS receivers on Earth surface, on Earth surface, and to find out position, velocity and time. And to find out here also position, velocity and time. These three parameters are important or measurable parameters from any GPS receiver and satellite transmitter, and it consists of both ranging is nothing but measuring the distance between transmitter and receiver. Here the measuring GLONASS satellite transmitter to the GPS receiver distance we are going to find it is called ranging. And navigation signals. Navigation signals is nothing but harmonic and ephemeris. And these GPS satellite transmitted signals or transmit signals. GPS satellite transmit signals using two spectrum L-band carrier signals, and there also they are using two carrier frequency signals, F1 and F2. Okay, F1 is 1.5257 gigahertz, F2 is 1.227 gigahertz. Okay. Here, sorry, there F1 is the 1560 and F2 is the 1200. and L1 is the 1557 1.5257 gigahertz. L2 is the 1.227 gigahertz. But here in the case of GLONASS, here also we are going to using the satellite transmitted signals using two spectrum L bands only, the L band carrier signals only, L1 and L2. L1 operates with a carrier frequency of F1 is equals to 1.620 plus 19K divided by 16 gigahertz. Here where K is the satellite number. So depends on satellite number, the L1 operating carrier frequency will varies. And the L1 modulated using pseudo random noise termed as a codes, C by A code and precision code. Here the L1 will operate using PRN, pseudo random noise termed as a codes, acquisition code and P code. So in the GPS also we are using in the L1, we are going to using two codes, C by A and P codes. Here also same in the GLONASS signals also we are going to using two codes for L1. For L2 will operates with the L2 will operates with a carrier frequency of F2 is equals to 1.246 plus 7K divided by 16 gigahertz. So in the L1 1.602 plus 9K divided by 16 gigahertz. So in the L2 1.246 plus 7K divided by 16 gigahertz, and it is modulated using PRN code named as P code only. So here also same, L2 will operates only 246 plus 7K divided by 16 gigahertz, and it is modulated using PRN name PRN code, namely P code. So in there also P code only, but the F2 frequency range in the L2 is 1.227 gigahertz. In the L1 F1 is the 1.5257 gigahertz. But here in the GLONASS signal, L1 is the F1 is equals to 1.602 plus 9K divided by 16 gigahertz, and F1 in the L2, sorry F2 in the L2 is 1.246 plus 7K divided by 16 gigahertz. So this is for GLONASS signals. The next comparison of GPS and GLONASS. You need to see the comparison table carefully. You have to tell in the comparisons. You have to tell clearly. All of you read out carefully. You need to see the comparison table carefully first. Then I'll read out again. First, you need to read out clearly. See from the GPS, the first point, And foremost important point, this GPS satellite based navigation system introduced by US Department of Defense. This satellite based navigation system introduced by US Department of Defense. US Department of Defense. Coming to in the GLONASS, this satellite based navigation system, this satellite based navigation system introduced by Russia. This satellite based navigation system introduced by Russia. And the GPS satellite system, satellite based navigation system consists of 24 satellites in 6 orbits. GPS consists of 24 satellites in 6 orbits. But the GLONASS consists of 24 satellites only, that 24 satellites in 3 orbits. So in the GPS we have only 24, these 24 in 6 orbits. But here in the GLONASS, here also we have 24 satellites only, these 24 satellites in 3 orbits. So there 6, here we have 3 orbits, that's it. Then coming to third point for GPS. In the GPS we have 4 satellites in each and every orbit. Here we have 6 orbits, right? 6 4s are 24. So based on that, each and every orbit will have 4 satellites. Each and every orbit will have 4 satellites. But in the GLONASS we have 3 orbits only, right? Yeah, 3 8 is 24. So it indicates that 8 satellites in each orbit we are going to keep in the GLONASS. So in each and every orbit we are going to keeping 8 satellites in the GLONASS. Coming to GPS, the fourth point, here we are going to using code division multiplexing access scheme. In the GPS we are going to using code division multiplexing access scheme for navigation system. But here in the GLONASS we are using frequency division multiplexing access scheme. Frequency division multiplexing access scheme. Coming to GPS signals. So in the GPS signals we have 2 carrier signals. So the first carrier signal frequency f1 is equals to 1.5257 gigahertz. Sorry, f1 is equals to 1.5754 gigahertz, and f2 is the 1.227 gigahertz. f2 is the 1.227 gigahertz. Coming to in the GLONASS, the L1 and L2 will operate, the L1 will operate with the carrier frequency of f1 is equals to 1.602 plus 9k divided by 16 gigahertz, and f2 is 1.246 plus 1.246 plus 7k divided by 16 gigahertz. So this is the L1 and L2 operates with carrier frequency of this. And coming to decline the angle with respect to equator. For GPS is 55 degrees. For GPS is 55 degrees with respect to equator. For GLONASS 64.8 degrees with respect to equator. 64.8 degrees with respect to equator. And the last point in the GPS is the sidereal revolution period of the GPS satellite is. The side real revolution period of the GPS satellite is 11 hours 58 minutes for GPS. The side real revolution period of the GPS satellite is 11 hours 58 minutes, 11 hours 58 minutes, which is almost equals to 12 hours or half of the side real day. Coming to GLONASS, under GLONASS, the side real revolution of the GLONASS satellite is 11 hours 15 minutes. 11 hours 15 minutes. Okay, so these are the main important comparisons of GPS and GLONASS. So in the next class we will discuss satellite navigation. Okay, we have the next class in 1 to 2. Okay, in that we will discuss satellite navigation. Okay,